Let's talk a little bit more specifically about the digital economy and how the digital economy is really impacting work and workers and creating a place that needs constant innovation. Uh, Robert, can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Yes. In media, we used to have a news cycle that was at least weekly, if not monthly, where our client gave us a brand message, let's say, that they wanted to get out. We worked with our journalists to get that known by the journalists. They wrote about it from their perspective, and everybody was happy. Now, news occurs 24/7 globally, and our ability to communicate on behalf of our clients requires us to be able to respond at the moment, generally in not less than 24 hours, to anything that has impacted that client globally. So if you think about that, we've gotten our people to where they have to be paying attention to a global conversation that affects their client, and also to, as Gene was saying, the internet has allowed many different industries to interpenetrate and have something to do with each other. We used to be a little more separated. And so now, what happens when we're working on behalf of our clients, we have to pay attention to the broad conversation. We call this listening at scale. So that something that might impact our client we would be aware of when it comes to bear. So the second piece of this is in broadcasting a message these days. Used to be you could broadcast through television. Spend your budget essentially on large television ads. Now, as Gene was saying, you have to spend it specifically across many channels and many influencers. Some of the influencers, it might even be pretty soon, might be Addie's 9-year-old daughter is going to be an influencer. On the YouTube and on the web, an individual can become a key influencer just with some really great content. So, from our perspective in media relations, we're having to pay attention to a global conversation on behalf of our client. We're having to respond within 24 hours. We're having to learn about a whole new landscape of influencers and try to understand who they are, how they speak, who their audiences are. So maybe that's enough about how it's disrupted us.
Jean?
Yeah, so I guess I'll speak in broad sense because, since we represent so many industries in the digital world, but I would say that in the digital world, we're moving really to a data-driven franchise. So that our business models of the past, had to do with, how many customers or how many people you could connect with, and whether or not you retain them, and whether or not they were loyal to you. And those things still are really, really important. But how you do that has changed drastically. And so what we see happening in the digital world is that data has become the new economy. It's become the new most important asset, whether it is to figure out, where your business needs to go to serve your customers, whether it is figuring out how to make sure your business is optimized and that you're pulling the right triggers and making the right decisions in the right moments in time, or you're thinking about your workforce and trying to understand what your workforce looks like from a given perspective. For us, and I'll just talk about some Cisco examples. We have over, I don't know, about 110,000 people working for us, and that's across the world. We're in every country in the world. We have got to, on a moment's notice, shift skills from one technology to the next in a given region based on a customer's need. We have to know where those people are, what their skill sets are. We have to be able to adjust in an overnight transaction to a new requirements or a new thing going on. And so for us, information and data on our people and being able to quickly grow skills on the fly is critical. You know, because I believe that in this new world, we're living in a services and data-based economy, and that means being able to use information and assets to understand what's going on, whether it's your customers, your constituents, whoever it is, be able to quickly respond to that at a moment's notice, and then have the right level of intelligence. It's not about mass data, it's about data that matters, that gives you insights, so that you can then take actions on that. And in a retail environment, it would look something like this. You know, you would have people shopping online, maybe they come into the store, that you have a mobile app that consumer has been using to kind of shop around. When they come in the store, what do? You want to make sure that they don't leave without the thing they came in to get. So what do? You see what they're doing. You watch them walk through the aisles. If they pick up something and they put it down and they don't buy it, you might want to push a new message to them that says, special now promotion. You get this 10% off. And so that's how you're using data in an instant to serve your customer to make sure you trigger the action you're trying to trigger, and make that successful. And that's what it's going to take to be successful in this new economy. You're going to have to merge the physical and the virtual together. You're going to need to bring new data and insights to that, and you're going to need to be able to make sure your resources are finely tuned to be able to examine this data and make those appropriate actions. So if we're living in a services and data economy, then that means the people are going to be more important than ever. Yes, the technology is going to be really critical, but the people are going to be the ones that design the technology to do what it needs to do to solve the issue, and they need to be able to do that on the fly. Design is going to go from, design and technology is going to go from, we've designed it last year or the year before and it's pretty stable and static, to design of the moment. And Agile is going to go extreme Agile. We're going to go from, a new release a quarter to a new release a night. And that's going to be how we're going to find a way to respond to all of these needs, both through our customers and from our customers to their customers.